Where you been? I missed you. Come you're not watching videos anymore? Well, before I make yet another shitty video talking about how uninspired and miserable I am, I did want to talk about a friend of mine who's going through a rough patch right now, and you all have the ability to help out. I hate when people stare at me while I'm making content. It's like, you never seen anybody film themselves before? So, a lot of you know I've had some struggles these last couple years, and I've lost a few friends over that time frame, and had to rebuild a lot of bridges because just of how shitty everything's been for everyone, really. And I probably made some poor choices during that period. Well, I did make some poor choices during that period. And a lot of people did, were not happy about it and didn't forgive me and all of that. Yet there was one friend, there's a couple friends, but I'm talking about a certain group. But there was one person who just didn't give up on me. It was there the whole time saying, I don't care what everyone else says. I like you, and she is a very generous person. She takes in so many people into her life, even when sometimes it overwhelms her, I feel like. And she's just this really generous, nice person. Well, a month and a half, or I think it's almost 2 months now, her house burnt down. Well, it didn't burn down to the ground, but the inside was completely gutted. She lost 2 of her dogs. Her and her kids and her fiance lost all of their possessions, essentially. And so she's starting over from scratch. And to top that off, her insurance isn't covering her possessions. I think they're just covering the house portion of it. So she could use a little help because, holidays coming up, and, she's wondering if the house is going to be fixed on time and stuff. And so there is a GoFundMe down below, and if you have a little bit to spare and you want to make a difference in someone's life, regardless of whether or not they're a close friend of mine, feel free to go down and chip in to help someone rebuild their life for the holidays, and to help. It's going to be an emotional holiday because of this for her, and I'd like to see her be able to rebuild, easily. And I know a lot of you, those of you who are left watching this channel anyway, have been generous to me over the years, and I'm not even half as deserving as she is. So we'll just leave it at that. Think of, if it happened to you, what would you want people to do? And she can, here's an example of how generous she is. I had a birthday while I was away from y'all, and I wasn't going to do anything because my birthday was, on a day where nothing's going on. But she insisted that we go do something, dinner, bar hopping, that kind of thing. And she got together a bunch of people, and we went and did this. Completely unexpected, mind you. And, despite her situation, I was expecting to pay for my own dinner. I didn't want anybody to spoil me. I just was glad to have people hanging out with me on my birthday. She paid for my dinner, and I protested, but she insisted. So, That's how generous she is. So if you can dig down for the holidays and want to make a difference in someone's life, the link's down below. Okay, enough about her. Let's talk about me. I don't know what to fucking say to you. I don't, I've taken a break, obviously, and you saw that, but it wasn't a break. Like the last time I quit YouTube was a year. Like I left YouTube for almost a full year, I think it was. But I was still making content on like Odyssey and other platforms at the time. I was still podcasting and selling podcasts, and I was doing all of that. But this time, for the past month and a half, I think it's been a month and a half since I ranted about AI, which apparently no one gives a fuck about. I've been contemplating what life was like before I became a YouTuber. What was life like before I tried all of this creative shit and to make a living at it, Before YouTube, I was just an average motherfucker who went out and drank his face off, drove the truck, ate like shit, played fucking video games almost all the time, got involved in train wrecky relationships, and at some point I snapped, and that was at the beginning of this channel, and said I need to get my shit together, and I need to pursue my dreams. I think they call this a midlife crisis. I think I've had 3 of them now, but sorry. And that's when you all started to tune in, is when I was like going keto and fasting and trying to be a full-time photographer and content creator and just really, struggling, but still feeling I could do it. I still felt like I could make it. I felt like if I worked hard enough and I did whatever, somebody would watch this shit. Somebody would want to help, pay for me to take photos. And sure enough, there were people that did. I got to go to St. Lucia twice for essentially free. I think I had to pay for my plane ticket, and that was it. But while I was there, mostly I didn't have to spend any money. I had to work, I'd take pictures, but I never dreamt that was even possible. I never dreamt before YouTube's bullshit that my channel would get to where it got to be honest with you. And that inspired me even more, as I saw that I felt like it was YouTube back then, when I was at the peak of the keto craze and all of that, which is gone now, I believe. I looked into it, and even people who are still to this day churning out that content just aren't getting the audience that once was interested in this. And it's understandable as to why that is nowadays, because the world is shit. So what good is being healthy if the fucking nukes are going to drop, if the economy is going to collapse, if you're going to be out of job and you can't afford a fucking ribeye because it's $25 a pound or some shit? I mean, I can understand why people aren't seeking out healthy lifestyles right now. Doesn't mean it's right or anything like that. And I'm one of them. I've been eating like shit, drinking like a fish. I've been wrecking trains here and there. And that's what's been going on. And I haven't felt like, there's twofold reasons why I'm uninspired right now. And uninspired equals not as many fucking videos. Or even music, for that matter. I haven't even been fucking doing that. The first reason is it's no longer a level playing field here on YouTube. It's straight up, I don't see a new channel that can grow, to be honest with you, unless you're talking about something that is pro-establishment and blessed by the mainstream media and advertisers and is woke as shit or whatever. Whatever the algorithm has deemed, we will allow this person to have reach. And I don't fit in that glove. And it started back when, this has been a 4-year fucking glut of being stuck at the same subscriber count for that whole time. So I no longer feel that I can come on here and make videos and grow and perhaps one day be able to make the content that I wish I could make. That just because I can't afford to. I can't afford the time, really. You know, and you might say, well, you're semi-retired, prick. Well, I don't want to fucking bust my ass making just this video, this shitty video of me sitting in this fucking car is going to take up the next fucking 7 hours of my life. I gotta go home, I gotta edit it, I gotta upload it, I gotta watch it again just to make sure that it's not fucked up, you know. And it's a lot of work with, you know, if the money wasn't there, I would like the reach to be there. You know what I'm saying? I would like to know that this could go somewhere, that I could reach people. And then provide some kind of entertainment or value to that audience, whatever audience that may be at this point. I don't even know what audience to go after now. You know, I'm just uninspired as fuck. And it's not just in my creativity, like I'm going through a creativity drought right now. But I'm also noticing, like, as a consumer of videos and YouTube, that I'm not finding as much shit to watch. Like, I watch true crime documentaries and that kind of shit. And then, you know, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to watch that. I'm not in the mood for that. I don't feel like fucking listening to more doom shit and gloom shit. You know, I'm tired of doom scrolling. I don't like watching the news very much anymore. I hate fucking politics with a fucking passion right now. Don't even get me started on this election and the shit show that it is. You know, I'm just burnt out. I guess burnout is a thing, you know. I don't feel like I can bring you anything of value anymore. You know, and some of you are like, I love whatever you do, but I don't want to just be the guy that comes on here and, you know, talks about himself all the time or bitches about the way the world is fucked up. You know, that's not what I originally set out to do with this channel. You know, at first it started off as a trucker vlog, you know, showing you what the road was like and what a truck driver's life is like. You know, and then it was the nomad thing I got into, and I'm still into the nomad thing. Don't get me wrong. You know, I love my times going out on the road. But when I go out on the road work now, I'm so uninspired, I don't want to work on top of my 70 hours of driving the truck, making videos in my time. I end up going in the sleeper, throwing on a fucking old TV show, you know, from the pre-woke era, and I go to bed. You know, I don't play video games or any of that when I'm on the road. I just watch shit until I pass out, and it usually takes about an hour. You know, and the shit I'm watching's old shit, old movies, old fucking TV shows. Now, when I say old, I mean like pretty much pre-woke era, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, stuff like that, you know, and I get into that, and maybe some classics here and there, but I don't feel like I have anything left to offer content-wise. You know, I might make music here and there. I don't have the urge to go out and take pictures, and I'm a decent photographer, you know. I think I'm good enough, people will pay me to do it. But in order to do that, you have to, I don't know, you have to really, really bust your ass, and that's just to make maybe $25,000, $30,000 a year. And doing it for clients sucks the whole fun of it out of it, too. That's the other aspect of photography that took me a while to burn out on was, you know, it's one thing to go out, you know, on these hikes and take pictures for myself and share them with people and enjoy that. But when other people want me to do it, it becomes a job, and I don't know, it just isn't as fulfilling to me. So I'm stuck in this creative rut where, you know, I feel like I don't have a lot of purpose and goals. You know, I used to have a defined set of goals, things I wanted to achieve, and that's changed. Right now, the only goal I have right now is in May, I'm going to Vegas to see a really awesome fucking concert with some friends. You know, and I'm going to drive out there. I'm going to try and hit the Grand Canyon along the way. And maybe that'll suck me back into being inspired again, getting out there and enjoying the country and traveling again. But I don't know, just when I'm here or when I'm just doing my job to pile up money to come back here and hang out and drink and then go back out on the fucking road. And, you know, I'm kind of stuck in like a hamster wheel right now, and it's very uninspiring, and I don't see a bright future, you know, to work towards. You know, I guess I've burnt out and become nihilistic or some shit. You know, I'm like, what can I do now that's going to be worth it by the time I'm in my late 50s and early 60s, you know? And I don't got a lot of time left. So I've been focusing on just being a selfish prick and doing hedonistic, escapist activities focused entirely on myself and my own life, and not necessarily sharing as much of it with everyone anymore, you know? And I don't know. Maybe that's bad. I don't know. What do you think? Tell me I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments. But, you know, does that mean I'll never make fucking video again? I'm not officially quitting. You know, it says the title for you clickbait motherfuckers was Contemplating Quitting YouTube. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. You know, and I don't get the views I used to get. I have no growth whatsoever. In fact, since I took my little hiatus, my subscriber count dropped by another, I think, 50 or 60. But it'll climb back up to my cap that the algorithm has seen fit to allow me to stay at the last 4 years. You know, 10,300 is where I have been for fucking years. You know, and then every time you make a video that, you know, isn't up to snuff for some person, they got to come on and tell you how much you suck, you know, and then, I don't know, there's not a lot of motivation going on. Like, Dave and MSP said goodbye to the channel like 6 times, and he was the biggest supporter. So, there's that. I'm just on here rambling, basically, you know, and there's been a couple times during this drought of videos that I was like, well, I should go make a video. I don't fucking feel like it today. Fuck it. You know? Or I should go make a video. I think I'm going to go out, have dinner, and then drink instead. You know? These are all thought processes that took place, you know? I've sat down to make music maybe 2 days over the past couple months. And I don't know. I've got thousands of dollars of camera gear sitting around, doing nothing, collecting dust. And as a minimalist, that bothers me. I have been selling off some of the music gear I haven't been using. And just kind of getting a more minimalist setup. And I feel like I'm going to end up doing that with all of my TV, or all of my camera production gear, all of my photography gear, you know, and just getting down to a minimalist setup. I don't know. I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet, because I don't know, you know, I might change my mind. I might get inspired. I've done it in the past, you know. And some people are going to be like, well, you should go to Rumble, you should go to Twitter. Elon just fucking brought everybody back to Twitter. Yeah, I might toy with some of these platforms that are supposedly allowing reach again, although Elon did put out that post that says it's not freedom of reach. It's great. You could say what you want, but we might not let everybody hear it if it doesn't meet our standards, whatever the fuck those are. And it sounds just like the problems that we have here on YouTube. Except we kind of got a good idea of what the standards are around here. You know, so there's that. And I don't know. And I don't feel right when y'all donate now, because I don't provide anything that I feel is good content. You know, I don't feel like this is quality shit that I've been doing lately. You know? And I used to provide value, and some people are going to go back to making keto videos. Well, first of all, you got to practice what you preach, and I'm not in the mood to be keto right now, nor could I really afford it. You know, I'm lucky if I get a fucking steak once a week now. You know, it's mostly burgers and chicken, you know, and maybe eggs here and there. With, of course, you know, pasta, you know, because, you know, Monsanto and shit. I don't know. I just wanted to, I guess, come on here and let you know my thoughts and what I'm wrestling with right now. you know. And over the past month or so, I've been just fucking spinning my wheels, you know, watching fucking shit, movies, old TV shows, documentaries, that kind of stuff, going out, hanging out with my friends, wrecking some trains here and there, you know. Definitely not healthy right now, so it wouldn't be, I can't just go back to talking about health shit and researching it and doing all of that. And to be honest, the algorithm doesn't want me to. If I were to do that, my numbers wouldn't change. The first year and a half of this fucking glut of not being able to grow the channel anymore, no matter how hard I fucking worked on it, that started during my keto days, you know, and has continued to this day. And then I, you know, tried to shift with the times where everybody was doing politics and that kind of stuff. And plus I have a hard time putting up with what happened over the last couple of years. And I tried tackling that, you know, and that, there's no growth there either, you know. Plus, these are all genres that are already loaded with content creators, and I don't think I brought anything new to the table, really. So, yeah, where do we go from here? Basically, it boils down to I'm going to make videos when I fucking feel like it, you know. And I don't know, maybe I'll get inspired again and make some shit. We'll see. I can't promise anything, though. You know, I'm very disenchanted with the world right now. And this isn't a new thing. I mean, if you've been watching a while, you know this. You know, this has been since, you know, the pandemic hit us, pretty much. You know, I don't feel like the world's rebounded to a good place. I don't feel like, you know, things are going to get better. You know, I cannot look over our landscape of current events and see a positive future. And if, you know, please tell me in the comments if that's just me being fucked up, you know, what positive future is there? You know, I guess I've lost my way, and I'm just kind of like sitting on, you know, I'm going to be the guy sitting in a lawn chair with a bottle of Captain Morgan when the bombs fall. That's me. All right. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm ready. Well, let's get this apocalypse started. You know, and I hope it never happens. You know, I hope I'm wrong. But I guess the alarming part of it for me is a lot of the shit that I was bitching about. You can go back, watch my old videos, and then compare it to where we're at today. And with the exception of that Tiffany nurse that passed out, that I'm sure, because that's the only thing David MSP can bring up to argue with my past stances on certain things that you put in your arm and certain things that you put on your face, and lockdowns and all that other stupid shit we did that I was ostracized for and damn near lost half my friends because of the whole fucking thing. You know, where are we at now? You know, with the myocarditis shit and all that, where are we at now? You know, I hate to say I told you so, and now we're on to the next thing, and I'm like, I hope I'm fucking wrong about some of this. You know, I think this time next year we will be deep into World War III, you know, and that probably involves some nuclear conflict. We almost just had one. The economy not looking too good. While I was on the road this last 3-week period, I think I did. It was almost 3 weeks I stayed out. You know, there was 3 days that I sat in the first week. For 3 days. I did 2 34-hour fucking resets in the first week because there was no freight. You know, and this is around the time we're talking diesel shortages. Of course, that narrative seems to be disappearing. I haven't heard anything new on that front. You know, so I get nervous when I go out in the truck now that I'm just going to be out there and not make much money and then have to stay out longer just to make what my goal was, you know, and that maybe even semi-retirement might not be possible in the future without severely lowering my lifestyle. So, I don't know. These are all things that are in my head right now. Maybe I lost my shit. Maybe I'm just a fucked up human on this planet. But I don't know. It doesn't make for a good fucking YouTube channel. Like, I know that. I wouldn't watch that. You know, I'm surprised some of you do, to be honest. You know, it's, I don't know. I'm going to do what I do, you know. That's pretty much all it is. You know, if I feel like making a video every couple days, then I'll make a video every couple days. If I need a month and a half to fucking sort my shit out, I'm going to take my month and a half and sort my shit out. You know, it's pretty much my life. You know, I don't owe anybody anything. I've definitely done my time. I've served this country. I've, you know, served it both as a trucker and in the military. I don't feel like I owe anybody anything, you know, and I'm single. I don't have anybody telling me what to do. I can just fucking do whatever the fuck comes to mind. And I want to keep doing that, to be honest with you, you know. And it can be very peaceful without having any pressure. And that's kind of where I've been hovering. I'm like, yeah, I could do this, but fuck it, you know. And maybe it's lazy. I don't know. But it's less stressful. It's more peaceful. And it keeps me from feeling the need to doom scroll and just keep up with current events all the time, you know. Some of it's been unavoidable. I've caught more than my fair share of news. I definitely watched the election. I'm tired of dwelling on it and talking about it. And based on the results of the election, I would say I'm not really reaching it, you know. Or at least there's a disconnect somewhere. Because a lot of people I talk to, both on here and in real life, agree with the things I'm pissed about, you know. The obscene inflation, the corrupt spending of Congress, the constant fucking browbeating and social engineering going on in almost every form of fucking entertainment, you know, and just this whole like mad, insane culture we're developing here that's falling apart at the seams and being divisive and shit. A lot of us are agreeing on these issues, but then it's not reflected in our leadership, you know. We did see a change in the House, only to see the Senate, you know. Well, the jury's still out on that one, at least last I looked. You know, it's I don't see change coming. I see more and more of just divisive, horrible shit, you know. And I think it boils down to the foundation of greed and being power hungry. You know, people are so willing to maintain control for their tribe that they ignore the issues that affect our daily lives and make them miserable. And that, I feel like that was the results of this last election. It showed me that no one gives a fuck. They'll just vote for whoever's on their team that the mainstream media told them to be on. And we're not going to see an improvement until that changes, at the very least. But maybe Elon will save us all with free speech. You know, I will say I have been amused by watching the Twitter shit show and meltdowns and everything since he took over. It's probably been one of the most interesting times of the internet in the last 10 years. You know, just saying. I can't think of a time on the internet that was as exciting as what's going on Twitter right now. I still haven't gone back to Twitter. I'm contemplating it. I'm kind of waiting for the dust to settle just to see what happens. If he starts monetizing videos to compete with YouTube, maybe I'll start a Twitter career and no longer be a YouTuber. I'll be a fucking twit. The fuck do I know? I'm not an expert. I'm just an asshole. Sorry I took the break. Well, not really. I needed the fucking break. But I'm sorry if you were left wandering the hellscape that is YouTube, looking for shit to watch, and my bearded ass wasn't spouting doom and gloom on there for a change. When I figure things out, just give me time. I don't know. You know, I'm not depressed either. That's the ironic part. I'm kind of like, fuck it. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So this isn't I'm depressed so I can't make content video. I would let you know if I was. This is, I'm burnt out. I'm tired. It's more like exhaustion, overloaded. And I just want to not deal with it. So I don't. So, and I know it's probably not the best way to go. We'll see. I might work on it. I don't know. Maybe my road trip next year will springboard me into being inspired again. I tend to hibernate during the winter. I'm not a big fan of winter. Thankfully, I didn't get hit by 6 feet of snow. That was in Buffalo. There's still green grass here, which is cool. Sorry, Buffalo, but damn. Just be patient, I guess. There's other shit to watch somewhere, right? Content somewhere. But we'll see. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe I'm overlooking something that should inspire me. Maybe the future is brighter than I see it. I'm waiting. It's the crickets chirping on whether or not the world's fucked or not. Have a nice motherfucking day. And shit. Now I'm going to go eat some Chick-fil-A and then go home and watch TV the rest of the night. After, of course, I spend the next 3 hours editing this video and posting it and then doing the premiere, and maybe updating my website, which I haven't touched in fucking forever. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a fucking piece of shit, aren't I?